Hey, Ben here with Ultravox, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a voice agent that can make outbound calls using Twilio, and we're going to do this using NoCode. We're going to use N8N, or as you may know it, NodeMation, to do all of the orchestration. So we won't write a single line of code. We're going to use the Ultravox examples repository, and we can see here, this gives us step-by-step instructions. So I'll be referencing this. We're going to, at the end of this, we're going to have this NodeMation or N8 workflow. We'll come back to this in a minute because we're going to need to do a little bit of configuration. But why don't we start here inside of Ultravox, and we're going to create a new agent. So I'm here on the agents page. Let's go ahead and minimize this. And I'm going to say new agent. Now I'm going to give it a name. I could call it anything I want. I think in the example here, we're just saying we're going to call it outbound caller. I can set any voice I want. We're going to go ahead and select the hang up tool. Now this is so that at the end of the call, or based on what we prompt our agent to do, it can just go ahead and hang up. And then this is an outbound call. So in an outbound call, we expect somebody to answer the phone and say hello. So we're going to go into first speaker settings, and we're going to change this from agent to user. Again, we expect the user to initiate the conversation by answering the phone. So now let me pop back over to the instructions here. So let's see, we've done these things. Let's copy and paste in the system prompt. So let me come back into Ultravox, and I paste it in. Now let's just take a quick look at this prompt. So we're telling the agent a name. Your mission in life is to deliver heartwarming voice messages. And then we're using some handlebars parameters here to pass in a name and a message and a sender. And then at the end of the conversation, we call the hang up tool. Very simple prompt. In production, we probably want something more robust than this. But I'm going to go ahead and save this. And then if I go back to my agent's screen over here in the side panel, you can see here we have an outbound caller, and then we have this ID. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this, because now what we need to do is we need to go into N8N, and we're going to do some configuration. And those instructions appear back here in our repo. Signing in to actually get this, we're providing a file here. I've already imported that, but you import this file. That'll create the basic workflow. And then we need to configure our Twilio credentials and then set up some parameters here. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. So again, the way you import a workflow file is you just say import from file and bring that JSON file in, and then that gets us started here. So this is telling us first thing to do is make a Twilio call and configure that node. I'm actually going to show you the set parameters here first. Everything we need to make the call, aside from setting up Twilio, is here. So we need to put in an Ultravox API key. We need to put in our agent ID. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I just copied that from Ultravox. We need our Twilio phone number. So this is the phone number we're going to use in Twilio to make our outbound calls. And then the first name of the person who we're calling. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up to call myself. And then the phone number of the person being called, the sender name. We're just going to go ahead and send this from Zuck. And the message, wish you were here. Okay, I'm back, and I just pasted in my Ultravox API key and a couple of phone numbers. Sorry, I don't want to share this with everyone out there, but I've now set those parameters, and so then just to explain what's going on here, we've got this all params node. This is just doing some basic error checking to make sure that we've set all the required parameters, and then it'll throw an error here in N8N if we don't have that. And then we're just making an HTTP request here using in the create Ultravox call node. We're doing a post to the Ultravox API to the agent's endpoint, and we're just grabbing that agent ID that we set a moment ago, and we're creating a new call. we're passing in our Ultravox API key and the X API key header. And then in the body, you may recall in the agent's prompt, we had those parameters we were passing in. So we need to pass in the template context, the name, the message, and the sender. And then that's pretty much it in terms of making this happen. We do set the call medium to Twilio since we are using Twilio here. And then let's go ahead and show you the final node here. The make Twilio call node, we have already configured this. N8N has instructions in their documentation. If you need help configuring your Twilio account, you're essentially just going to put in your Twilio API key and your account SID. But then we've set this to make a call. So we're using the call resource and we're making a call. And then we're using our Twilio phone number that we set up. 2 is the person that we're calling. Again, those were 2 of the parameters we set. And then we've got this message. We're using the connect TWIML verb in Twilio, and then we're setting the stream URL equal to the join URL we get back when we create the call with Ultravox. So that's really it. So now, the moment of truth, let's go ahead and execute our workflow over here. So we can see this running. Now let's see. Should get a phone call here in just a moment. Here's the phone call coming in. Hello?
Yeah, just wanted to say, wish you were here, man. How's your day going so far?
Hey, thanks, Carter. So there you have it. Made an outbound call using NoCode, using Twilio, N8N, and Ultravox. Give it a try and let us know what you think.